Whoa! What the? So I'm watching Todd's workshop. He's got Joe Gibbs on there and the young guy, the javelin thrower guy. His name escapes me. I think it could be Michael, or I could be totally making that up. Sorry. They're throwing around that Roman Pilum, having a great old time. You know, it looks like a lot of fun. I'm thinking, if I ever get a chance, I'm definitely gonna make something like that. So I'm passing by the garden section at Home Depot. I'm like, if they got something in there that I could use, and it's reasonably priced, I'll go ahead and grab one. Well, it turns out the exact thing that I needed was like the cheapest thing there. So obviously, to save money, I grabbed 3 of them. Classic Z-Knot Alpha, non-lethal by choice type build. It's been way too long since we mangled some gardening equipment. The Apocalypse Pilum. Here you go. Hope you guys like it. Today's video is brought to you by Factor 75. Guys, do you hate meal prep as much as I do? I know I do. Wouldn't it be so great if you could just have fresh, never frozen, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered straight to your door as often or as not often as you want? I'm serious. If you type in that you want 0 weekly deliveries, they will literally deliver no food to you. They'll do it. Factor offers tons of add-ons. I think it's like 60. They got snacks, they got juices, they got smoothies, they got, I think they call it small bites, and their meals are ready in 2 minutes. You look like you deserve a premium meal. How about some filet mignon, some shrimp, some truffle butter? So good and tasty. Check out my code. Check out my code in the description. It's ZNAJAN50. That bad boy's gonna give you 50% off and free shipping on your first order. Thank you so much, Factor, for sponsoring the video. Let's get back to it. All right, what we got here is a star cultivator, but I'm not really concerned with that. What I'm looking at is we got an ash wood handle. Ash is one of the best woods for spear shafts, pole arms in general, because it's a super resilient hardwood with just the right amount of spring that it's really, really good at absorbing shock without cracking. And this here is super duper convenient. We have this honestly really nice steel collar. It seems to be welded right here. It's got this really nice taper to it. In my younger years, I used to cut the heads off of shovels when I needed something like this. But then it just had this like flat, clunky, really not good looking look to it. So this here's a real treat. I don't know if you can see that on the wide angle lens, but you have what appears to be about a 1/2 inch hole drilled into the wood. I've done the math. 1/2 inch hole is the perfect size for 1/2 inch rebar. Okay, first step, we're gonna grind the head off the rivet and dink it out. Oh my gosh, I love when stuff is easy. Oh baby, look at that. Woo! Oh, and look at that, we already got a replacement rivet. Oh! Is this my first 1-day build in like 10 years? Yeah, I'm gonna do the other ones. All right, party time's over. This sucks. Oy, oy, oy. That's bad. Crack. That one's just like crammed on there, like the collar cut into the wood. Why isn't my $10 Chinese star cultivator built to the highest standards? Kind of a crack. It looks like they maybe put a little bit of glue in there or something. But yeah, we gotta redo these. I'm gonna go ahead and cut them off like right here and just grind them down on the belt sander. Alright, that wasn't so bad. Hey, to be honest, I'm actually glad that happened. I just got these fitted up way better than they were before. Got this chamfer on here, so it goes all the way up to the front. It's pretty nice. It's pretty amazing what you can accomplish when you don't have to make 6,000 of these in 1 hour or you're fired. Alright, we're gonna mark how high the collar goes and then seal the deal with some super strong epoxy. Some people might opt to skip this step to make it a lot easier to replace the handle in the event that it breaks. Personally, to be totally honest, I don't plan on like using these every single day. I would much rather just like super reinforce them right now, and then in the event that the handle breaks in 100 years, you just cut it off right here, chuck this in a bonfire, burn out the wood and the epoxy, and it'll be good as new. But anyways, while you weren't looking, I went to bed. Today is tomorrow. I had these sitting next to the wood stove all night. These are nice and cured. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill through the rivet holes. I'm really gonna eyeball these. Ooh, not bad, Eli. Thanks. 2 for 2. This camera angle might look crazy, but my wrist and my hand are nowhere near the drill bit. blast. All right, that'll do. Now in the last video, I showed you guys how to use your drill press as a makeshift lathe to be able to drill holes perfectly the long way down rods. Now that'd be super nice for me to be able to drill this hole perfectly, but sadly that trick only works for rods that are small enough to fit inside the drill press. And to my knowledge, they don't make drill presses big enough for me to use as a makeshift lathe to fit this inside. So looks like we're eyeballing this one too. Tragic. I'm gonna have to pound that in. It's actually good news. It means it's gonna be a good fit. Hey man, I gotta say, for eyeballing, that is not bad. Seems pretty good to me. All right, we got 4 feet of rebar here, so we should be able to get 2 pilums out of it. Pilums. That sounds too funny to be real, but I don't know what else you would say. Pilums, pilums. Sounds cute. And here's what we're making the points out of, the shank from a 7/8 bolt. This may be the most brutal test for the evolution saw that I've put it through, at least. The blade is super old too. It's actually the first blade I ever put on. In that unboxing video all those months ago, I have not changed the blade yet. It is really something. If I can't get a good grip on this thing, no, I'm not using this. Sketchy. Incredibly sketchy, but also incredible. Ooh, definitely warm. This is the first time I've ever seen the evolution saw warm up a piece that I was cutting. Normally they come out cold to the touch. All right, I need to do 2 more. I think she's got 1 more cut in her. Then I'm putting this poor blade to bed. Oh, what? One of these things is not like the other. All right, I guess we're cutting 4 times. Ah, poor blade. Yeah, I'm not changing that right now. Nah, it's cutting fine. I'll leave it on. That's better. And now I'm hoping between all these used drill bits, I at least have enough juice to make my mark. I'm not asking too much. I just need like 1/2 an inch down into each one. All right, well, I shelled out for a 1/2 inch cobalt drill bit. That hurt. I think it'd probably be wise to soften these up before I go at it again so I don't end up just destroying that thing too. I gotta get a drill bit sharpener, man. I don't even really want to bother with the forge. I'm just gonna hit it with the propane flamethrower weed burner thing. Here we go. Nice yellow-orange glow. Should be well past the normalization temperature. Hi, remember I told you to go 3/8 instead of 1/2 inch? Here's why. The 1/2 inch rod is just way too freaking heavy. It puts, when I have the tip on here, the center of balance all the way the heck up here, which that means if you hope to throw this with anything like proper technique, where you extend your arm all the way out before you throw, a properly balanced pilum is gonna have the tip like right there. But if I stretch my arm out all the way, yeah, I'm not doing that. I have no experience throwing javelins. I'm not gonna start practicing with the most dangerous version I possibly can, so. Oh, and in case you're wondering, no, I can't just trim this down to make it lighter to push the center of balance back, because the steel is so much heavier than the wood that any amount that I'm cutting off of here, it's only moving the center of balance back like 1/2 as much, so I'd actually be making the problem worse. The more and more I'd cut off here, the further and further back it would go. What else? Counterbalancing. I'm not gonna counterbalance this thing either, just for fun, just to see if the balance was working. I went ahead outside and I was throwing this around, no tip on it or anything, and it's already just so heavy. It's really uncomfortable on the shoulder. Actually kind of hurts. We're just gonna bring the weight down. I feel like that kind of fixes all the problems. And honestly, if you look at pictures of pilums, I feel like a much thinner rod is more accurate to what they're supposed to look like anyways, so probably a reason for that. I'm definitely not, however, just gonna scrap these handles because I drilled a 1/2 inch hole. I got these oak dowel pins. They're just dowels, but they have these flutes carved into them. This is so that you can slather them in glue and get them all the way down into a hole, and they're not gonna vacuum seal with the glue and just, you know, hit a cushion of air and bounce back out. You can seat them all the way at the bottom of the hole. So I'm gonna fill up the hole, let it dry. I'm gonna drill a new 3/8 hole in there, and then I am gonna make new tips out of 3/4 inch instead of 7/8, so that'll be lighter too. The whole process is the same. See you later. I'm not gonna film that. All right, we're all fitted up to 3/8. I would call that very much better. All right, we're gonna weld all the heads on. This 3/4 inch is kind of asking a lot for my cheapy little welder. So we're gonna hit it with a MAP gas torch, get it nice and hot, and that bead is just gonna sink right down in there. Not a dime has been stacked on this day, but if that ain't one piece of steel, I don't know what is. And they're all like that. I'm happy with it. Let's move on. Okay, I took this 1/2 inch thick piece of plywood and this, I don't know, 3/4, 11/16. Got that? This stick, and I'm rolling the rebar on the plywood as I mark lines on the tip. And eventually, if your stick here is the right thickness, all those lines will leave this little hole right here, which I've already punched, but that should give you the dead center of the rebar on this tip thing. Now, you cannot just roll this piece on the plywood because that'll give you the dead center of the tip. And in the event that you made the tip kind of crooked, I messed this one up on purpose so I could show you guys. Ha ha ha. Well, then once you grind it down, the point is gonna be crooked. If you use your rebar as the reference point to get that center point right there, then once you grind it down, it's gonna be perfectly in line with the rebar. Make sense? Gosh, just let me work already, would you? So you can see, I've reached that point that I punched. See if I can get the glint just right. There you go. I reached that point, so that means I can turn it over, work on this plane, turn it this way, work on that one. The tip of the Pilum should have 4 planes. I despise editing belt sanding footage, so see you later. All right, here's the progress. Looking dang good, if I do say so myself. You can see I got rid of those rounded surfaces. I don't know where I got the idea that that's how a Pilum was supposed to look, but after looking at some more historical pictures of them, I went with these flat-faced pyramid heads. It's kind of a funny picture on my head. Flat-faced pyramid spearheads. The one little thing that I've added is this little tiny rounded tip here. You can see if I hadn't have done this, the tip would be just extremely acute. And it just kind of seemed like that would be very prone to bending over or breaking off. So hopefully bringing that point down a little bit really minimally affects the penetrating power, but I don't know. Gives me a few more throws before I have to do any kind of maintenance. Yeah, I think it's time to fit them into the handles. A little crooky, you can see. We'll bend that out. I guess that hole I eyeballed wasn't so great after all. Who'd have thought? Wow, that was super easy. Okay, I got a 1-inch pine board over there. I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna put the camera. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. I'm trying to get the camera somewhere where I'm not gonna impale it, that you can at least see me throw it. All right, this might be the best I can do. I am legendarily bad at throwing spears, so this could be pretty embarrassing. Yes, I did watch the whole Todd's Workshop tutorial on how to throw the Pilum. I'm so bad. Oh boy, I think I'm about 20 feet. It flew pretty straight. Come on, I just need one good one. I really hope it goes right through right there, right where you guys can see it. That'd be epic. Ooh, baby. Not great penetration, but that did some serious damage. Man, the battery life is pitiful in the cold. Everything's harder in the cold, man. Oh, it's so cold. Oh. Come on, man. I busted the corner off of it. Oy, oy, oy. Just 2 good ones. I want that shot of it like busting through. Oh, come on, man. Oh, my hands, they feel like they're gonna explode. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, I gotta go inside. Silly willy that I am, I didn't notice they were throwing their Pilums at a plywood target. This will hopefully give me the effect I'm looking for. Definitely more the effect I'm going for. I'm gonna get it a little more centered. That's pretty good. If I could get a bullseye there, that's exactly what I'm looking for. It's a little off. You got this. Yeah, buddy. Oh, the high speed. So I did have this particular concern that the little ridges on the rebar would provide a lot of friction and stop the pilum from being able to penetrate all the way. That clearly is not really an issue. Not a dead bullseye, but from the camera angle I had, that's gonna look pretty good. I'm so glad I redid this test. Whoa! What the? I hope to God I got that on camera. That was too funny. That was crazy. What in the world? All right. Oops. Did I use up all my good throw juice? It is so loud too. With no leaves on the trees, every sound you make out here just reverberates. Oops. This is getting bad. Come on, one good one. Oops. Flew nice and straight. It's just the accuracy wasn't there. Oops. It's not so bad, but it's not what I want. I want the bullseye, come on. Just inside the black, that's all I want. Oh my gosh. That one went all the way through, past the collar. Oh, that's cool. There we go. Ooh, that's a good one. I think that's my thumbnail. I'm so glad I refilmed that test. It's funny how stuff kind of works out like that sometimes, because not only did that first test kind of suck, but then I came in right after that and filmed the outro and it was completely out of focus. It was so bad. So then I woke up this morning thinking, you know what, I don't think I have the motivation to go out and refilm an outro about how disappointed I was in the test. I might as well just redo all of it. And now here I am super happy about the way it turned out. So yeah, hope you guys had a good time too. This one was a lot of fun. Thanks a bunch Factor for sponsoring. That's all I got for today. Thank you very much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.